Some of the most important exercises that can be done to protect your young thrower from injury are scapular exercises, or scapular strengthening. The scapula is the shoulder blade, the triangular bone that lays on the back side of the spine and rib cage, and is meant to be the foundation and stabilizing factor in your shoulder. The muscles around the scapula help stabilize this bone as it moves through the throwing motion and are very important to be strong to prevent injury. The focus of these next 4 exercises is to demonstrate ways in which to strengthen the scapula. The first step in all 4 of these exercises is a shoulder blade retraction, or a shoulder blade tucking down and in, as if it were going to your opposite butt pocket on the shoulder and back here. The shoulder blade retraction is the first step of all these exercises, and then the protraction, or the release, is the ending position. So with the first exercise we're going to go through is a shoulder blade row, or a scapular row, where Joe will tuck his shoulder back and then row his arm, bending his elbow to finish. He'll release the arm and then release the shoulder blade as he returns his motion. So first is setting the shoulder blade down and back, and then rowing the elbow towards the rib cage, the level of the hip, and stopping at neutral. He's doing an excellent job of getting the shoulder blade to come across his body first, and then letting the elbow finish the motion with his elbow bent to about 90. These exercises are again done with approximately 3 sets, 10 to 15 repetitions. These help build endurance within the shoulder and protection during the follow-through phase. Making the exercise a little more difficult, you can put a weight in the hand. For a young athlete, something like a soup can will do just fine. Something that weighs 1 to 2 pounds. Joe has a 3-pound weight in his hand. Feels the muscles below his shoulder blade and towards the middle of his back doing the stability work, as his arm then brings the weight towards the top of the motion. You can do a good job of seeing his shoulder blade drop and his elbow come up. It's very difficult sometimes for young athletes to maintain the stability on the bottom side with the lower trapezius, the rhomboid, and the middle trapezius. Some of them will want to hike their shoulder. That's a bad form for this exercise. It's important to bring the shoulder blade down and then bring the elbow up and try to prevent that upper trap from doing too much work. The next exercise is a straight row, or a shoulder extension. Similar concept, where the shoulder blade comes down and across. Then his arm comes in full extension, bringing his hand to the level of his hip. This uses the low trap muscle and is very important for promoting strength and stability in the young thrower's shoulder. Joe does an excellent job of getting the wrist all the way up towards his hip pocket, keeping his elbow straight through the motion. Exercise number 3 in this segment is what we call horizontal abduction, or T, as it's known sometimes in the baseball community. Tucking the shoulder blade down and in, bringing his arm out to the side to a level neutral with the table, and then releasing the shoulder after he brings his arm down. Shoulder blade down and in, arm out to the top, stop for a second and down, and then releasing the shoulder blade. This is the most difficult exercise in which not to use your upper trap, so it's important to watch these young guys for form. Shoulder blade down and in, bringing the arm out to the side, and coming on down. This exercise can also be performed with a thumb up. So his arm is externally rotated, thumb pointing out to the side. This adds additional rotator cuff strengthening to the exercise. Most importantly, the athlete must do a good job of bringing his shoulder blade out to the side. This is the T. Moving on to the Y, or shoulder blade scaption exercise, or a scapular scaption exercise. The shoulder blade will be tucked down and in. The hand will be rotated slightly to the outside. The thumb is raised forward to a level not quite to the top of the table. It's sometimes difficult for athletes to bring their arm all the way to parallel with the floor. Getting 3/4 of the way up is plenty. And it's always important to get the shoulder blade to come down and in first, bringing the hand and arm up, slowly lowering the arm down, and then releasing the shoulder blade. One more time, bring it up, and that is excellent form. He brings it back down, relaxes his shoulder. As we call these are scapular prone row, I, T, and Y exercises.